Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another player prop video. In this one, we're talking about the MLB for Monday, July 22nd. Last video, we went 4 for 4 in the MLB, so let's keep it going. If you guys want more picks in all sports, I do post more in the private Discord. You can see here a big hit. And we post in all sports, and we have 5+ other cappers posting picks in here. You can see some PGA picks from this weekend hitting over here as well. But we do all sports, so definitely check it out with the link down below and the pinned comment. Also, we're partnered with Prop Projections for the MLB season. You can join free on their Patreon. They do post the occasional free projection spreadsheet. Their sheet will commonly have 100 to 300 different projections for the MLB. The projections that they have given out this season have been pretty solid. And then also over here, they'll give you their top winning percentages based on the projections that they come up with. These sheets are fully customizable if you download them as well. You could input your own projections, which I love doing. So join up for free on their Patreon or join for just $1 per spreadsheet. You can even set a monthly limit on how many you want to get. So you can just get charged for the amount of spreadsheets you want. So check out the Discord for more picks and also the projection spreadsheet on Prop Projections Patreon. So let's get into these picks. For the first one, we're going to go to a hitter stack for the first two. And the game I'm liking to stack here is going to be the Royals against the Diamondbacks. You can see this game has a pretty high total at 8.5, with the Royals being big favorites at -155. So they have a high implied run total in this game, and liking some of the low lines on some of the guys that they have. They come up in the order around each other. So we can see in one of these last games for the Royals, Bobby Witt came up third, and then you got Renfroe coming up 3 spots behind him as well. So those are the two guys we're going to be targeting here. So coming back over to Prizepicks for Bobby Witt, we're going to go over on his fantasy score at 9.5. So hoping that he can get on base, get fantasy points that way, but then also Renfroe coming up can hit him in with an RBI to get Witt more points. And Renfroe, if he just gets an RBI single here, he's going to be hitting this hits run RBI line as well. And helping out Bobby Witt, who obviously has been one of the best players in the league this season, and a pretty good hitter fantasy score line for him at 9.5. They're going against a pitcher who hasn't played much in the MLB. So they're going against the 23-year-old Gilbert Diaz. He's pitched 2 games in his career so far, 2 pretty good starts here in his career to start this out, but coming up against the Royals, really liking this matchup against a younger pitcher. So we're going to Witt and Renfroe on this hitter stack, looking at Bobby Witt over on Outlier, which is a great tool that I use every single day for player props and doing research on them. They have a 7-day free trial if you want to check them out down below with the link. But on the season, Bobby Witt, we can see here, over 9.5 fantasy score. It's a 53% hit rate on the season so far. He actually hits better in home games as well. You can use this toggle to see just home games. It's a 56% hit rate. And then I don't know why you can't see against right-handers, but if we go to the hits run RBI for him and then go look down here, it's a 47% hit rate on this line at 2.5. But against righties, he actually hits more hits, runs, RBIs combined on the season as well. So liking it against a righty at home for Bobby Witt. And against this young pitcher, I think I spot that we can go to here. Obviously, no information on the side against Diaz because he is a player who's only pitched 2 games in his career, none of which are against the Royals so far, but data would show up over on the side for pitcher versus hitters on Outlier, which is pretty nice. And then from here, we can just click right to Renfroe, go to his hit run RBI here. We can see him on the season, a 45% hit rate on this. And then we could filter for home games. Renfroe also hits better in home games. 19 of 40 games this year, he's gone over this at home. And then against righties, bumps up even more, over 50% here, a 53% hit rate on this one for Renfroe. So we're definitely liking that for him as well. And we can come down and see that average bumps up from 225 to 231 against righties. Coming back to Prizepicks for the next pick, we're going to another Hunter Greene, over on his strikeouts at 6.5. against Atlanta, and Atlanta actually is a team that does strike out a good amount. So liking this matchup for Greene against the Atlanta Braves. On outlier for Greene, we can see this is just a 42% hit rate for him on the season, but looking back to last year, it was a 50% hit rate for him. And I do think this is a good spot, as I mentioned earlier. The Braves do strike out a lot. If we come and look at MLB teams, the most strikeouts per game, Atlanta is here ranked 23rd. They strike out almost 9 times per game here at 8.88. And one of the rare teams that actually strikes out more at home. So Atlanta at home here, they strike out 9.0 times at home. So actually in their home stadium, they do strike out more as well, which is interesting for the Atlanta Braves. So definitely liking the matchup for Greene, and I think a pretty good spot here at 6.5 for this matchup. Something he hit 50% of the time last year, but now gets a pretty good matchup here for strikeouts. On the side here, we could see Hunter Greene against some of these Braves hitters. So against Matt Olson, his K rate is 66%. So in 6 at-bats against Olson, he struck him out in 4 of those 6 at-bats. Against Austin Riley, struck him out 1 in 6 at-bats, and then against Rosario in 8 at-bats, struck him out twice. So pretty good strikeout rates against the guys he's faced the top 3 most on the team, 6, 6, and 8 at-bats. We can also look head-to-head here for Hunter Greene against Atlanta Braves. Last game against them, he struck him out 10 times in that game. So he definitely is accustomed to having some nice strikeout games against Atlanta here with 10. Definitely liking him in the spot. And then an interesting thing you could do is knowing that the Cincinnati Reds are actually underdogs in this game. We can only look at games where he's pitching and they lost, and actually it's a higher percent hit rate for him. Bumps up to 46% hit rate on the season, and last year it bumps up over 54% in losses as well. So actually in losses he does get hitting this line more often, which is pretty interesting stat as well for Hunter Greene. For the next one, we're going to Corey Lee over a half base here. So liking this one for Corey Lee against Texas. I think should be a good spot for him. We can see on the season just a 49% hit rate, right about 50%. But Lee has been such a much better hitter in away games this year. If we filter by only away, this bumps up to a 57% hit rate. And then also better against right-handed pitchers, jumps up to a 61% hit rate on the road against righties. Lee hasn't faced Lorenzen yet in his career, so no data around that. But we can also come over here to OddsJam, and we can see that this one is one that sportsbooks are liking. So to go over a half base, minus 130 on DraftKings, minus 131 on Caesars, minus 128 on Pinnacle. So sportsbooks across the board have this one as the favorite to go over as well. So that just adds to it why it is a pretty good pick to take here on a 50-50 site like Prizepicks. So liking this one for Corey Lee. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed this one, want more picks here, we went 4 for 4 the last MLB video. These picks are posted in the private Discord before the video comes out, so you could get on these lines as soon as possible from the Discord. Also, make sure to check out Prop Projections. You could join for free on their Patreon and get their occasional free projection spreadsheet, or you can upgrade for just $1 per spreadsheet and set how many you want to get per month. Their spreadsheets commonly will have between 100 and 300 projections, and their projections have been pretty spot on this year with the highest percent chance to hit ranked on the side over here. And then also you can make a copy, and these are fully customizable, so definitely check them out for free as well. Check out this video that I did for the partnership here too at the end card to see more about prop projections. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the Discord.